Give me your name. Give me your name.
What's up? Man. KB, Kyle Brady. Casey Kevin Carter.
Steve McNair.
You Thrillers.
And you guys are
at the
NFL draft, right?
Tomorrow, someone will hand you the cap and the jersey from that team, and we'll take you out front and pose for pictures at that point. We also have an NFL site on the internet. You guys probably know more about it than we do. You probably have your own internet addresses. And if time permitting, we'll have you stop there for 10 minutes and chat with some fans on the computer.
In 1995, the World Wide Web was offered to the public for the first time.
You write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate with, I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
Technology was also changing the NFL draft.
We hadn't yet reached that phase where you had the tweets and all the way that the fans can wade in. But what I do remember was just the availability of some of the information where typically it might have been a little more laborious to fight your way through it. The fact that it was on the internet made the preparation and the analysis just that much easier.
The league was expanding as well. The first new teams in nearly 20 years added to the intrigue of the 1995 draft.
When Carolina and Jacksonville came into the league, they had a lot of advantages that other expansion teams had not had.
This is what expansion looked like before the free agency era. Rosters were filled solely with rookies and castoffs.
Nobody wanted to revisit the days of the original Buccaneers. Nobody wanted to revisit a day when these teams were going to come in and go winless.
You know, you think, well, okay, we can start with a clean slate and we'll have a little time to build this our way, and then, whoops, we need to sell PSLs in order to fill the stadium and build the stadium. So we were in a position where we had to get the team as competitive as we could, as fast as we could.
With an entry fee of $140 million each, the two new franchises had paid for rapid growth. With almost unlimited salary cap space, both teams invested heavily in veteran free agents.
We designed specifics for each position that we were looking for, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams. You know, I had an age in mind. I wanted everybody to be 26 years old. I wanted a young team.
What? Your knee pads. They're in there. Put them in there. It's going to cost you some money. What are you doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing here?
You had street free agents. You had free agents. You had draft choices. You had college free agents that were going to make up this first year of this expansion team, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I know Ron Wolf, who was at Tampa Bay in '76, he wouldn't even call Carolina and Jacksonville expansion franchises. He called them free agency franchises.
My biggest argument at that time was, if this was good enough for Tex Ram and Paul Brown, Joe Thomas with the Minnesota Vikings, why isn't it good enough for these guys?
He knew full well that we could take advantage of the fact that we could cut many of the players that we got in the expansion draft and create cap space to sign veteran free agents, which is what we did.
You got to crawl before you can walk. These guys were strutting. I mean, they could strutting right in.
Before they could strut, they had to build a roster. Jacksonville won a coin toss, giving them the first pick in the expansion draft. Carolina would then pick first in the college draft.
We were thrilled that we lost the coin toss, but the fans here were not, and the media were not, because they didn't realize how important the first pick in the regular draft would be.
We'll take Berline. Steve Berline, quarterback, Arizona.
It was a coin flip, and Jacksonville won, because I love Jacksonville, and I love the people, but the experience was not what it was supposed to be.
The 30-year-old Berline lasted just one season in Jacksonville before, ironically, joining the Panthers. As the big day neared, the top of the draft remained unsettled.
So who's going #1 here?
Kajana Carter.
Kajana Carter. Two. Carolina. Yeah, they won't trade it.
You didn't know if it was going to be me, pick first. Tony Baselli was a high pick. Warren Sapp was very, very high. So you really don't know because these are all great players, and you got two teams that are expansion teams at the first two picks. It was really kind of crazy.
As crazy as things seemed, a breaking news story would further shake up the top of the draft.